What if there was a way to make someone think of you constantly, to feel a deep emotional connection that they can't quite explain? Emotional attachment isn't about luck or chance. It's about knowing how to create a bond that truly matters. And yes, you can do this with anyone. Think about this. Why do some people linger in your mind long after they've left the room? It's not just their charm or what they said, it's how they made you feel. Emotional attachment is rooted in those feelings, in the small, powerful moments that leave an impact. The good news is, these moments aren't accidental. They can be created with intention and care. Getting someone emotionally attached to you doesn't require being someone you're not. It's not about manipulation or tricks, but about understanding how to make someone feel valued, secure, and connected. Whether it's through thoughtful actions, meaningful conversations, or shared experiences, there's a clear path to forming deep and lasting bonds. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to create those connections, naturally and authentically. Emotional attachment is one of the most powerful forces in human connection. It's the invisible thread that weaves trust, understanding, and care into a bond so strong it feels unshakable. But to inspire that connection, you must first understand its essence. What truly makes someone feel emotionally tied to you? Attachment begins in a place deeper than words or actions. It's born in the moments where someone feels seen and understood. Picture this. You're sitting across from someone who listens, not just to respond, but to hear the unspoken truths behind your words. In that moment, you feel safe. You feel valued. That is where emotional attachment begins, with safety, care, and presence. People aren't drawn to perfection, they are drawn to authenticity. They long to feel that their emotions are valid, that their experiences matter. This is the heart of emotional attachment, the ability to make someone feel secure in your presence. But it's not something you can fake. It must come from a genuine place of care and openness. Trust is the foundation. Without it, no bond can thrive. Trust isn't just about honesty, it's about consistency. When you show up for someone, not just in their bright moments but in their storms, they begin to see you as someone they can lean on. And it's in that leaning that attachment forms. It's not about grand gestures. It's the quiet acts of reliability, the small moments where you prove, time and again, that you care. Think of emotional attachment as a rhythm. Each interaction, each word, and each gesture becomes a note in the melody you create together. When someone feels they can dance to that rhythm without fear, when they feel safe in your care, that's when the connection deepens. But here's the truth. Attachment isn't one size fits all. Each person has their own language of connection. For some, it's words of affirmation. For others, it's acts of service, time spent together, or even small, thoughtful gestures. To inspire attachment, you must learn their language. Pay attention. Notice what lights them up, what soothes their heart, and what makes them feel most alive. And yet, attachment isn't about giving endlessly, it's about balance, showing care while maintaining your authenticity. People attach not just to what you offer them, but to who you are. Your presence, your steadiness, your ability to hold space for their emotions. All of this creates a sanctuary where attachment can grow. Take a moment to reflect. How do you make others feel? Do your words uplift? Do your actions create trust? Building emotional attachment is less about effort and more about intention. When you move with intention, when your care is sincere, people will naturally feel drawn to you, not because of what you say or do, but because of how you make them feel. This is the foundation. Emotional attachment begins in these simple, heartfelt interactions, and as you continue forward, step by step, you'll see how this foundation can transform even the smallest moments into bonds that last a lifetime. Trust is the cornerstone of every meaningful connection. Without it, relationships falter and crumble. But when trust is present, it creates a foundation where emotional attachment can flourish. To make someone emotionally attached to you, trust must be more than a word. It must be lived and demonstrated through consistent actions. Building trust begins with presence. When you're with someone, are you truly there? Or are your thoughts scattered, your attention divided? Trust grows when people feel that they have your undivided focus. When you listen, not just to their words but to their emotions, you show that they matter. Listening deeply is more than hearing. It's creating a space where the other person feels understood and valued. Actions speak louder than promises. It's easy to say, "I'm here for you," but what builds trust is showing up when it matters. Imagine someone confiding in you about a challenge they're facing. You don't need to have all the answers, but your willingness to stand beside them speaks volumes. Trust isn't about fixing someone's problems. It's about being reliable, a steady presence they can count on. Reliability, however, is only part of the equation. Authenticity plays an equally important role. People attach to those who are genuine, who are not afraid to show their true selves. Being authentic doesn't mean oversharing or seeking validation. It means aligning your actions with your words and staying true to your values. When someone senses that your intentions are honest, trust deepens naturally. Vulnerability is another bridge to trust. This doesn't mean exposing every part of yourself right away. It means letting others see your humanity. Share your fears, your challenges, or your triumphs when the moment feels right. Vulnerability invites reciprocity. When you open up, you create a safe space for others to do the same, weaving trust into the connection. Consistency is where trust solidifies. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic declarations. It's about the small daily actions that prove your reliability. Checking in with someone after a difficult day, remembering the little details they've shared, or showing up when you said you would. These are the moments that build trust brick by brick. Over time, they create a bond that feels unshakable. It's equally important to respect boundaries. Trust isn't built by overwhelming someone with your presence. It's cultivated by showing respect for their needs and comfort zones. When you honor someone's boundaries, you demonstrate that their feelings and preferences matter. This respect creates an environment where attachment can grow without pressure or discomfort. Trust also requires patience. Building trust takes time, especially for those who may have been hurt in the past. Rushing the process can lead to skepticism or resistance. Instead, focus on being steady and consistent, allowing the connection to develop at its own pace. Trust isn't something you demand, it's something you earn. When conflicts arise, they present an opportunity to strengthen trust further. Handle disagreements with care. Listen actively, avoid defensiveness, and work towards solutions. Apologies, when sincere, can repair cracks and deepen the bond. Trust isn't about never making mistakes. It's about how you handle them when they happen. Finally, reflect on your intentions. Are you building trust to genuinely connect, or are you seeking something in return? True trust stems from selfless care, not from expectation. People can sense when your actions are driven by authenticity rather than an ulterior motive, and it's this authenticity that fosters the deepest connections. Think of trust as a garden. Each action is a seed, each kind word a drop of water, and each moment of presence a ray of sunlight. Over time, with patience and consistency, the garden grows into something vibrant and alive, a bond that cannot easily be broken. Trust is not a one-time act, it's a practice. When someone feels they can rely on you, when they feel your care is genuine and unwavering, emotional attachment naturally follows. This is how trust transforms relationships, through actions that speak louder than words. There's something magical about shared experiences. They have the power to turn ordinary moments into unforgettable memories, creating bonds that feel deeper and more enduring. When someone shares an experience with you, especially one that feels meaningful, they start to associate that moment with you. Over time, these shared memories form the emotional glue that holds relationships together. Think about it. What are the relationships you cherish most? Chances are they're tied to moments you've experienced together, whether it was laughter during a late-night conversation, overcoming a challenge as a team, or simply enjoying quiet, unspoken companionship. These moments don't just happen by accident. They're built intentionally, and they leave lasting imprints. To create emotional attachment, focus on fostering these kinds of experiences. Start by seeking opportunities to share time in ways that matter. It doesn't have to be extravagant. Often, the simplest activities are the most meaningful. A walk in the park, cooking a meal together, or even a deep conversation over coffee can leave a stronger impact than you realize. One way to deepen these experiences is by engaging in something new together. Novelty has a way of heightening emotions, and when two people share something for the first time, trying a new activity, visiting an unfamiliar place, or learning a skill together, it creates a unique bond. These experiences become firsts that you both look back on with fondness, tying the memory directly to your connection. Challenges, too, can strengthen bonds. Facing adversity together, whether it's solving a problem, navigating a difficult situation, or even supporting each other through personal struggles, creates a sense of partnership. These moments show someone that you're there not just for the good times, but for the hard ones as well. This reliability fosters a deeper sense of trust and attachment. Another powerful tool in building shared experiences is storytelling. Sharing meaningful stories from your life, your victories, your lessons, even your mistakes, invites the other person into your world. At the same time, encourage them to share their own stories. When you both open up in this way, it creates a tapestry of shared understanding and emotional closeness. Nostalgia also plays a role in strengthening emotional bonds. Reflecting on positive past experiences with someone reinforces the connection you've built. Something as simple as saying, "Remember when we," can reignite the feelings of joy and trust associated with that moment. Reliving good memories together helps keep the bond alive and vibrant. It's important, however, to ensure that these shared experiences feel genuine. Forced or overly orchestrated activities can feel insincere and may have the opposite effect. Instead, focus on being present in the moment, truly engaging with the other person. The more authentic the experience feels, the more powerful the emotional connection will be. Physical presence also matters. While digital interactions have their place, nothing replaces the connection formed when you're physically with someone, sharing an experience in real time. The energy, the unspoken cues, and the shared atmosphere all contribute to a bond that's difficult to replicate through a screen. Finally, remember that creating shared experiences isn't about quantity, it's about quality. It's better to have a few deeply meaningful moments than countless shallow interactions. When someone feels that the time you've shared has added value to their life, they naturally start to feel more emotionally attached to you. Shared experiences are like threads in a tapestry, weaving together the fabric of a relationship. Each one adds color and depth, creating something that becomes more beautiful and complex over time. By intentionally creating and cherishing these moments, you're not just building memories, you're building a connection that will stand the test of time. Vulnerability is the heart of any deep emotional connection. It's the moment when you let someone see the parts of you that aren't polished or perfect, the fears, dreams, or doubts that make you human. While it can feel risky, vulnerability is one of the most powerful ways to foster emotional attachment. It shows the other person that you trust them enough to let your guard down, and in return, it invites them to do the same. Think about the moments when you felt closest to someone. Chances are, it wasn't during a casual conversation, but in a moment of honesty, when they shared a struggle, admitted a mistake, or revealed something deeply personal. These moments resonate because they remind us that we're not alone in our imperfections. They create a sense of intimacy and connection that's hard to replicate in surface-level interactions. The key to vulnerability is balance. It's not about laying everything bare all at once. It's about sharing at the right time and in the right way. Start small. Maybe it's telling someone about a challenge you faced recently or a lesson you've learned. By opening the door just a little, you create a safe space for the other person to open up as well. Creating this safe space is essential. When someone feels judged or dismissed, they'll hesitate to share their true self. Instead, focus on responding with empathy and understanding. If someone shares something vulnerable with you, acknowledge their courage and show that you value their trust. Something as simple as saying, "Thank you for telling me that," can make a big difference. Vulnerability also requires listening, not just speaking. When someone opens up to you, resist the urge to offer advice or fix the problem immediately. Sometimes people just want to be heard. Let them express themselves fully before you respond. This kind of listening shows that you're present and that their feelings matter to you. It's important to understand that vulnerability isn't about weakness. It's about courage. Letting someone see the real you takes strength, especially in a world that often encourages us to hide our struggles. By being vulnerable, you're showing that you're confident enough to be authentic, and that authenticity is magnetic. At the same time, vulnerability shouldn't feel forced. Sharing should come naturally as trust develops. If the connection is genuine, you'll find that these moments of openness happen organically. They'll feel less like a risk and more like a natural progression of the relationship. Vulnerability also deepens emotional attachment because it allows someone to see your humanity. When you're honest about your fears, struggles, or even your dreams, you're giving the other person a chance to connect with you on a deeper level. You're inviting them to step into your world, to understand you in a way that most people don't. This kind of connection creates a sense of partnership. When someone feels like they truly know you, not just the parts you choose to show, they're more likely to feel attached to you. Vulnerability fosters trust, and trust is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. Remember, vulnerability doesn't mean oversharing. It's about choosing moments of honesty that feel right, moments that build intimacy rather than overwhelm. It's not about seeking pity or validation. It's about creating understanding and connection. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you're offering a gift. You're saying, "Here's a part of me that I don't show to everyone, but I trust you with it." And in that moment, you're creating an opening for a bond that feels genuine and profound. There's a moment in every relationship when someone opens up, hoping to be understood. What happens next can either strengthen the bond or create distance. Emotional validation is the key to making sure that moment builds connection. It's the act of showing someone that their feelings, thoughts, and experiences are real, valued, and respected. When done sincerely, validation creates a powerful sense of trust and attachment. At its core, emotional validation is about empathy. It's not about agreeing with someone's perspective, but about acknowledging their feelings as legitimate. Imagine sharing something deeply personal, only to hear, "You're overreacting," or "It's not a big deal." Those dismissive responses can make you feel invisible or unheard. Now imagine hearing instead, "That must have been so difficult for you," or "I can see why you feel that way." Those words communicate understanding and care, making the person feel safe and valued. To practice emotional validation, start by listening attentively. When someone shares their emotions, give them your full attention. Put away distractions, maintain eye contact, and listen without interrupting. Sometimes, the act of simply being present is enough to make someone feel understood. It shows that their feelings are important to you. Once they've expressed themselves, reflect back what you've heard. This doesn't mean repeating their words verbatim. It's about summarizing the essence of their emotions. For example, if they say, "I'm frustrated because my efforts weren't recognized," you might respond with, "It sounds like you feel unappreciated, and that's been really upsetting." This kind of reflection shows that you've truly heard them and are trying to understand their experience. Another crucial aspect of validation is resisting the urge to solve the problem right away. Often people don't want solutions, they want to feel heard. When you rush to fix things, it can unintentionally dismiss their feelings, as if their emotions are secondary to the solution. Instead, acknowledge their experience first. If they want advice, they'll usually ask for it. Tone matters just as much as words. A kind, steady voice conveys sincerity and support. Even if you don't have the perfect response, your tone can reassure them that you care. Sometimes, silence paired with a comforting presence speaks louder than words. Validation isn't just about the big, emotional conversations. It's equally important in everyday interactions. If someone shares something small, like feeling stressed about a busy day, take a moment to acknowledge it. Saying, "That sounds like a lot to handle," can make them feel supported. These small moments of validation accumulate over time, building trust and attachment. It's also important to validate emotions, even if you don't fully understand them. You don't have to relate to their experience to acknowledge it. For example, if someone expresses anxiety about something that doesn't seem significant to you, resist the urge to downplay it. Instead, focus on their perspective. "I can tell this is really worrying you." This kind of response shows that you respect their feelings, even if they differ from your own. Emotional validation deepens attachment because it satisfies a fundamental human need to be understood. When someone feels that their emotions are seen and respected, they begin to associate you with safety and care. They trust you to handle their vulnerability, which strengthens the bond between you. Finally, remember that validation doesn't mean you have to agree with everything. It's possible to acknowledge someone's feelings while holding a different perspective. For instance, if someone is upset about a disagreement, you can say, "I understand why you feel this way," even if you don't share their view. This balance of empathy and honesty creates a connection that feels both authentic and respectful. By validating someone's emotions, you're not just showing that you care, you're building a bridge of understanding that fosters deeper attachment. It's a simple yet transformative act that can turn even the smallest interactions into moments of connection. Emotional attachment thrives on consistency. It's the quiet reassurance that comes from knowing someone will be there time and time again. Consistency isn't flashy, and it's rarely celebrated, but it's one of the most powerful ways to build trust and deepen emotional bonds. When someone sees that you're dependable, not just during the good times, but especially in challenging moments, they begin to associate you with stability and care. Consistency tells the other person, "You can count on me." And in a world where so much feels uncertain, that promise becomes invaluable. Consistency begins with small actions. It's checking in regularly, remembering the little things they've shared, and following through on what you say. If you promise to be there, show up. If you say you'll listen, give them your full attention. These actions might seem insignificant, but over time, They create a pattern of reliability that builds emotional security. Commitment, on the other hand, goes a step deeper. It's about demonstrating that you value the connection enough to invest in it fully. Commitment isn't just about grand gestures. It's about showing through your actions that you're willing to put in the effort to nurture the bond. It's the steady presence that reassures someone they're important to you. Consistency and commitment work together to reinforce the bond. Imagine a friend who calls you every week, who remembers your stories, who's there when you need them. Over time, their actions create a sense of safety and attachment. You don't question their care because their consistency has proven it again and again. It's important to note that consistency doesn't mean perfection. Life is unpredictable, and there will be moments when plans change or mistakes happen. What matters is how you respond. A sincere apology and a willingness to make things right go a long way in maintaining trust. It shows that your commitment is genuine, even in imperfect moments. Commitment also means adapting as the connection grows. People's needs and circumstances change, and staying consistent doesn't mean rigidly repeating the same actions. It's about being flexible and attentive, adjusting your efforts to meet the other person where they are. This adaptability strengthens the bond because it shows you're truly attuned to their needs. Ultimately, consistency and commitment aren't about doing big things occasionally. They're about doing small things consistently. When someone knows they can rely on you, when they feel your care isn't fleeting but steady, they naturally grow more attached to you. This is how emotional bonds become unbreakable, through actions that say, "I'm here and I care." Every meaningful connection will face challenges at some point. Disagreements, misunderstandings, or unexpected life events can create tension. But these moments don't have to weaken the bond. In fact, navigating challenges together is one of the most effective ways to deepen emotional attachment. It's in these moments that trust is tested, resilience is built, and the connection grows stronger. When conflict arises, it's natural to feel defensive or frustrated. However, the key to strengthening attachment lies in how you handle those emotions. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a step back and approach the situation with understanding. Listen to the other person's perspective, even if it feels difficult. By showing that you value their feelings, you're demonstrating that the relationship matters more than the disagreement. Conflict resolution begins with communication. Express your thoughts clearly but calmly, focusing on how you feel rather than assigning blame. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try, "I feel unheard when this happens." This shifts the focus from accusations to understanding, making it easier to find common ground. Challenges also provide an opportunity to show empathy. If the other person is struggling with something outside the relationship, being present and supportive can strengthen the bond. Whether it's offering a listening ear, practical help, or simply standing by their side, these actions show that you're invested in their well-being. Adversity also reveals reliability. When someone sees that you're willing to stay through difficult times, they begin to associate you with stability and care. This doesn't mean solving every problem for them. It means being there, consistently, as a source of support. That presence alone can be incredibly reassuring. It's important to acknowledge that challenges don't always have easy solutions. Some disagreements may require compromise, while others might take time to fully resolve. What matters most is the willingness to face them together. The effort you put into understanding and addressing issues sends a clear message. This connection is worth it. By navigating challenges with empathy, patience, and care, you're not only resolving the immediate issue, you're strengthening the bond itself. Each hurdle you overcome together adds another layer of trust and emotional depth, reinforcing the connection and making it more resilient over time. Creating emotional attachment is one thing, sustaining it over time is another. Relationships, no matter how strong, need consistent care and attention to thrive. Emotional bonds don't stay vibrant on their own. They grow when nurtured and fade when neglected. To keep someone emotionally attached to you, focus on the small, meaningful efforts that build connection every day. One of the most powerful ways to maintain attachment is through regular communication. It doesn't have to be lengthy or profound. A simple check-in, a kind message, or asking how their day went can remind the other person that they're on your mind. These small actions show that you value the connection and are willing to invest time in it. Appreciation also plays a vital role. People often feel most connected to those who recognize their efforts and value their presence. Take the time to express gratitude for the things they do, no matter how small. Saying thank you, acknowledging their kindness, or pointing out something you admire about them strengthens the bond and makes them feel cherished. Spontaneity can breathe life into a relationship as well. Surprise them with something thoughtful, a favorite treat, an encouraging note, or a shared activity they enjoy. These unexpected gestures break the routine and bring joy to the connection, reminding them of why they feel attached to you. It's equally important to adapt as life changes. People grow, their needs evolve, and circumstances shift. Staying attuned to these changes and adjusting how you show care ensures the connection remains relevant and meaningful. This flexibility shows that your bond isn't stagnant, but dynamic and capable of weathering time. Acts of care don't always need to be outward. Sometimes maintaining a bond is about creating space for the other person to express themselves. Offering a listening ear or simply being present without distraction reinforces emotional safety and trust. Lastly, reflect on the energy you bring into the relationship. Are you nurturing positivity and growth, or are you letting stress and distractions take over? Emotional attachment thrives in an atmosphere of kindness, respect, and mutual support. Maintaining emotional attachment is a journey of intentionality. With consistent effort, genuine appreciation, and a willingness to adapt, you can keep the connection alive and thriving for years to come. If you found these insights helpful, consider becoming a member of this channel to gain even more tools for building meaningful connections. And if this video resonated with you, click the super thanks button below